This is U.S. Senator Ted Cruz and Congressman Colin Allred, both back on the campaign trail after hitting the debate stage last night. Senator Cruz and his tour stopped in Amarillo today. He plans to speak more about his time in the U.S. Senate and his vision for Texas going forward during a rally in just a few hours from now.
Meanwhile, Congressman Allred will be in El Paso tonight before heading to San Antonio and making stops in both Austin and Round Rock this weekend. He's traveling across Texas, making a push to get people out to vote ahead of early voting.
Now, it's no surprise if you follow politics that both candidates are claiming victory after last night's debate.
They faced off in the first and only televised debate hosted by our sister station WFAA in Dallas.
And look who's back. KVUE political director Ashley Goudeau, back from maternity leave just in time, Ashley, to talk about last night's debate. All right, we talked about they're both claiming victory. Can they both claim victory last night?
Why can't they? It's politics, Brian.
That's
they can
true.
do whatever they want. Who can say whether or not they won or not? And, I really think what we saw is that both of them performed well in what they set out to do last night. So Congressman Allred was all about the one-liners and invoking emotion, while Senator Cruz said from the very beginning he was going to talk about his opponent's voting record, and time again he did just that. But certainly they both had one thing in common, and that's the tactic of painting each other as too extreme for Texas. Take a look.
Congressman Allred has voted to tell you, a mother at home, you have no right to know if your daughter's getting an abortion. That's an extreme position.
The far left voted against it. The far right voted against it. I think there was only 18 senators who voted against it. And Ted Cruz was one of them.
Congressman Allred is proud to be supported by J Street, the radical left organization that undermines Israel at every level. But I do know his voting record. His voting record is radical and extreme. And you want to talk about threats to democracy?
Now, trying to cast the candidates as too far left or too far right, I think, is designed to speak to independent voters and voters who are perhaps willing to stray from their party affiliation because of the border or abortion. Now, speaking of abortion, Senator Cruz dodged questions from the moderators on how he personally feels about the Texas abortion ban, whether or not allowing exceptions for rape or incest is just too far, while Congressman Allred missed the opportunity to respond to Cruz's attacks on his voting record. He didn't defend his votes. He didn't talk about the other things that were in those bills that prompted him to vote the way he did. Now, the congressman did score some points, though, with viewers by bringing out the emotion, particularly when he talked about the insurrection. Senator Cruz, though, he stuck to his script, talking about Allred's votes.
I have to say, you can't be for the mob on January 6th and for the officers. You can't. And it's not funny, because you're a threat to democracy. When the lights went out in the energy capital of the world, he went to Cancun. On January 6th, when a mob was storming the Capitol, he was hiding in a supply closet.
He gives language that is disconnected from the actual voting record he has. Tonight, I suspect he's going to run away from his record on a whole lot of issues. We have a website. It's called Allred.
So how are voters feeling about the candidates? Well, this is a look at the latest polling data, which shows the race is still pretty tight. The University of Houston Hobby School released these numbers yesterday, showing Senator Cruz has a 4-point lead, but 3% of voters are still undecided. And that's really reminiscent of when Senator Cruz was running against then Congressman Beto O'Rourke, who came very close in the election. Some saw it as the closest race of late that we've seen for a statewide Republican race. And so I think that's going to be really interesting to pay attention to, right? Because I think that the senator is going into this maybe not feeling so invincible as perhaps he would have a couple of years ago, but is Allred going to get enough support across the state to really carry this race and to really come up with upsetting Senator Cruz? And it's something that's going to be exciting to watch.
Indeed.
20 days.
Ooh-wee.
20. Welcome back. Welcome back. We've missed you.
Yes,
well,
welcome
I'm
back,
glad to be
Ashley.
back, and especially the timing for this.
You're loving this, isn't it?
It's my
All
Super
right.
Bowl, Brian.
That's right. That's
Ashley
right.
Goudeau, thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Ashley.
Thanks, guys.
All right.